Hi, we're back again, and we are on to our next signature, which is going to end up looking somewhat like this. So this is one piece that I've cut to fill in for the flaps on this front page. This is what I mean by the images are so gorgeous and they're so big. I did have to trim off a little bit of her boot down here in order to not cut off her head, but I didn't want to cut into that image. There's some things I could have done. I could have done a split page, but then she'd have a beige or a light camel brown strip through her center, and I didn't want to do that. So getting in here, this is where the challenge is going to be for me, because I rounded the corners on these front pockets, which means that the edge that I'm putting here, I also now have to round. I am having second thoughts on as to whether that was a smart move, but we'll see how it all turns out. But it's going to be kind of interesting to put all this together on a rounded corner and then get it into the album. So if you've not done this before, then we're going to learn right along with each other. So this is kind of what the composition that I have. I actually want this one here. We're going to put one of the cut apart tags I'm going to put over here, and then I'm using this from my scraps. This came off of the bottom or the top of another piece, and I just love it. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to make a pocket to sit over here on the left. And then this is going to come in right here, and I'm toying with whether I want to put a couple of gold leaves behind there, but I haven't made that commitment yet, so I'm just going to kind of set them aside. From one of the scraps, which is what cut one of the pages I just did, there was this piece that was left over, and it had a little bit of forestry running down here. So I came in and I cut it out. Oh, I just saw something. And I didn't finish the cutting. And I'm making a big pocket out of it, just a little different. Cut that very well because I'm under pressure. Okay. It's a good thing it's my album. And I'm going to come in here, and that's going to sit like that, and then it will create a nice tuck in here. A little different. I think it would be pretty once we get it all done. Okay, so let's start with, I got smart with the magnets on this one. You know what, I think I want to put this in first, because I'm going to be putting that second page in here in just a split second, and I want this on there already. I'm just kind of coming right up to that corner. All right, that's on. Now let's put this on. So same as before, I'm going to come right up to that 1/2" score line. This is going to be so interesting. I just really hope this turns out, and it's not a move I regret. It was one of my 3 o'clock in the morning wake up. Oh, what if I try this? And I know I can't be the only one out there that wakes up at 3 in the morning with ideas that crop up in their head. And then I go back to sleep. And then I'm thinking, okay, let's go out and let's try it. So I do. We'll see. We will see. Oh, I know what I forgot. If you're making this, I'm so sorry. I'm so bad about this. I really am. This piece, your right side panel, measured in at 6 7/8. You're going to score at a half, and then you're going to score at 3/4. And yes, the height on this is at 9 1/2. That is your right side panel. Your left side panel is going to be 7 inches by the 9 1/2. And once again, I have rounded my corners. And this is what I was kind of curious about. So I don't know if this is going to be something I'm going to have to struggle with all the way through, but I need to kind of come in here and fix this just a little bit. I hope I'm not regretting this. I just did not like the look of that there. You don't have that issue when you're working with a square corner, but the round corners, I want them to not look funny. Just between you and me, I think I'm going to regret having rounded those corners. I really do. All right, now let's go ahead and get our inside panels secure so we can get those magnets set. So what that ended up doing by rounding those page corners where those pockets are going to go, I have to round 4 of the corners on this. So we'll see if I can make something good out of a crazy 3 a.m. thought. I'm going to put one down the middle. It's a big piece and I don't want the paper popping up. Okay, so I'm going to take these off for now. I'm just going to trim these off. Okay. Now I do have a little bit of excess here, so I'm going to just kind of roll it under the page, I mean the paper. And I'll do the same up here, just kind of roll it up underneath of there. And I know somebody out there is screaming at me, you didn't tell me what the base page was, and I didn't. 9 1/4 for the base page by 9 1/2. So that will be the width and the height throughout my build so that I'm working with the same height and width. So we're going to go 9 1/4 by 9 1/2. All right, now I've got 2 magnets that are sitting in there. I'm trying to remember which way my front pages were opening, because that's going to dictate to me the magnets. I want her top side. All right, now let's see if I can do this in a much cleaner fashion than the first time. So I want her on the top. So that will be the page that will come over, and I'm going to make sure my tops and my bottoms are lined up. My gussets are sitting, what gussets I have created are sitting up straight. And then I do a little bit of a slide, and voila. I got to keep these because I'm going to be using them throughout. Now I feel comfortable adding this piece in so I can get those magnets secured. This is my general fashion. I did not do this on that other signature because I just wasn't with it. I don't understand why. I'm sure we all have those off days. You get just get a little out of sync on one thing, and then it just kind of runs over you. Okay, let's put this in right now, and then that way the magnets are all taken care of. I'm not going to cut that off. I'm just going to let it, I'll push it under with my finger. I would love to know if there's any translation. I gotta roll some tape because it got a little off the edge here. If there's a translation to any of the words, or if those are words, or is it just an alphabet? So now we'll go ahead and we'll put her on the front, and I can glue her down because I don't have any magnets on this side. All right, now I'll give her another good burnish from this side. And then I'm going to add this cutout piece. I'm going to add it down here as a tuck. And then we'll get this piece. And I can glue this because there are no magnets involved. put on my pocket. Roll that tape underneath of there. And then this pocket, or this tuck, I kind of want to come in at an angle. I mean, it looks fine that way, but I like a different visual when you're looking at something. And then you got a nice little tuck right here. Okay, so room here for photos. I could have added a couple of more flaps to this, but I think I'll wait till I get a little bit more center in the book to do that. All right, let's get that on, and let's get some tape out here. Oops. This is the scary part because now I'm going to go put this in this book, and I'm going to, it was kind of a brain tease on cutting this because I rounded those corners. I can't get away from it, and I'm not making new pages to put in there. That's just a waste of cardstock. Get this tape down on this, air bubbles out of it. Grab the book. And now this is the moment. What is this? Tape that I didn't tuck. Okay. All right, so this is going to set in here like so. I have not used this hinge system before, so it is also a bit of a challenge for me because I'm unfamiliar with how it's going to react with the big signatures that I like to make. And I did allow for, I hope, bigger gussets. I'm a little off kilter there. And then I will make a card to insert in here. I've not done big pockets before either, or I should say very seldom, not never, very seldom. So I did forget to make the card, but that is an easy make, and I can come back and show you what I did in the next video, because I will at that point be making two of them. One for this signature and one for that next signature. And I can give you the measurements. Oh, come on. don't know what it is I do wrong sometimes. I can get up underneath this tape fairly easy in some situations, and then I can't at all in other situations. I'm not sure what I'm doing. What am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. And yes, I could take it all off and then lay this down, but then if I have a problem, I've got to remove all that tape to correct an improper lay. And I've done that, and I've hated it. So I will struggle with that ordeal than to have to waste a bunch of undo because I took a lot of tape off. Okay, so there we go. Now I can, if I want to, come in and add an additional flap to this. It just means I have to lift, take some tape off here, that I have to lift each end here, and then insert to double up. So I think I'll hold off on thinking about doing that. I've allowed for 1/4 inch gusset for additional add-on, but I really truly wanted to see how this was going to go down with these rounded corners. But now I know most of my work is going to be when I'm actually building the signature, not so much putting it into the book. All right, so there you go, and we'll see you on the next signature.